Welcome, everyone. My name is Mirthless Mirror, and today we are returning with 7 Days to Die. And I'm glad that you could make it. Last episode, I traveled into the irradiated area and also the winter area so that I could get my snow gear and my radiation gear and make myself all safe. And then I returned here and started working on this road, which will eventually be a permanent addition to the base. I want to make a road circuit that kind of goes around to the whole base to give me a bit of freedom of movement. But right now is just kind of a test to see how it's going to work. So this episode, I'm going to be continuing that work and digging and building the road so that we can get it all the way around the base and get it lined up properly with all the ramps and the stairs in the area. However, the blood moon is going to be rising, well, very shortly, in just a few in-game hours. So we'll be seeing the blood moon here as well. So expect those things in this episode. Let's start by prepping for that blood moon so that while I'm building, I don't have, the moon rising and me getting in serious trouble. So let's get... You don't belong there. Let's get some painkillers and also some splints, some extra bandages, some extra big bandages, and even a vitamin. Looks like, oh, I do have a recog. Why don't we check Trader Rect and see if he has any recogs? Gotta bring this too. I guess I could make the recogs, guys, but, well, then I'd have to use the acid. So I really like to have recog during the blood moon because it increases ranged damage, and for the most part, I'll be using my shotgun. And the shotgun plus the recog plus the position that I have the zombies in my traps pretty much equals one shot per kill. Not strictly in every case, but many cases I'm able to kill the zombies in one hit with recog. So that makes a really big difference for me. Without the recog, sometimes it can take 2 to 3 hits, which is significant. No recog? Wrecked.
It was a goodie. I'll sell you food, but don't expect me to cook it for you.
Do you have acid? No, acid. All right, wrecked.
Go fuck yourself.
This was a waste of time.
When you didn't buy anything.
I am excited about completing this road circuit. Not only do I think it's going to be really cool, I've never done one in any of my bases before. This base is just kind of, it's been necessary because, well, the mountain is so large. But I'm looking forward to it because not only is it going to give me loads of freedom in building my base, but it's also going to look cool. Oh, that is smooth. And I like where it's landing. So let's grab the cement that we need. Might as well get our water over here. Let's get the concrete that we need and also the steel and forged iron, and that way I really am prepared for Blood Moon. And then we'll start digging. Well, you is not what I need, and I'll take these. Well, actually, I probably only need one. There. So I think that should prepare me for Blood Moon. So I do want this road to kind of match level with these two entrances. And what I built here yesterday, even if it's not perfect, it looks pretty good. So this is my only issue, is I actually think I want it a little bit lower. Because this is going to end up being the ground. This ground is level with this platform, and that's where it's supposed to be. And I think I want the road slightly lower than the ground. So why don't I see what this will look like? Do I have to take it down too? That would work. Yeah, I guess so. Otherwise, I'm going to be like that or have to use half blocks. And of course, I'm not going to use half blocks. I could alternatively bring the dirt up around the road. But let's see what it looks like if I end up digging it here. We'll call this a test area. And this would be a half block here. Kind of makes that ramp look a little stunted. Maybe I liked it better the other way. Why mess with something I liked? So I guess I need one more of these, right? No. This is where it levels out. Because then I can put them here and put a half block. And that will make it uniform with the rest of the base. Which I'm just kind of keeping for now. This area doesn't have to be uniform with everything else in the base. But I'll just start with uniformity and then move out from there. The auger doesn't really feel much faster to me for stone. Obviously for dirt, it's a huge upgrade. But for stone, I mean, I take it out in one hit. I'm not convinced. I think they're probably about equivalent. If the auger is a little faster or the pickaxe a little faster, I don't know, but they seem about the same to me. Although, putting the modifications on on my auger has made a big difference, especially with the dirt. I'm taking out dirt in two swipes now, rather than 3, and that's a big difference. Oh, I'm out of wood? All right, well, I'm happen to be right next to my trees, so why don't I get some wood? No, man, it's almost blood moon. Forgotten to look at the clock. Glad it hadn't risen yet. Hey, this is gonna level me up. I wanted 2 stacks, but I just don't think I'm going to have enough time. Well, I don't know, 2100. I guess it opens at 2200. Maybe I can fit in a whole nother stack of wood. Let's try it. Oh, ho, ho, look at that level up. 166. All right, there's 2 stacks. I don't think these trees are going to get in the way of my digging. I have a feeling that the road is going to be, well, the most outside of my base, like the outer perimeter, I mean to say. So hopefully I don't have to worry about these trees. I don't want them blocking my vision. I don't want them giving cover to zombies. I don't want them to, well, mess up the skyline, because, you can see the base from quite a distance now with it getting so big. And I wouldn't want a bunch of trees hiding that. All right, I gotta go. I only got an hour. Oh, let's close the doors behind us since I have traps on them now. Not all the doors have traps. This one doesn't even have a door. But we'll get there. The doors that do have traps, I want to close those. And I want to make sure that we are full of gasoline before the blood moon rises, because I don't want my traps running out of power halfway through the night. Cool. And I want extra shotgun shells as well. I'll take a lot. Let me check my welcome tunnel, see if the doors are closed. Yep, they're closed. So something that I want to test out, something to look forward to, is I have expanded this entrance here because the zombies were attacking the wall, and they might still attack the wall. I might need to make it larger of an entrance, but I don't know. I might need to remove this door. We're going to have to see how it works because the zombies, hopefully, now that I've made this entrance bigger, they're just going to walk right in because that's what they're designed to do. But if not, we'll have to do some adjustments there. This tunnel looks good, though. Take out that ladder. Just double check to see if anything needs to be repaired. I had a pretty big zombie horde the other day. I had a screamer that came in. Oh, I guess I need some electrical parts. But Blood Moon is just about to rise. Where are they? There they are. Up here, guys. Sorry, I didn't mention there was an electric fence there. Just get comfy, guys. I gotta take some drugs. All right. Well, you guys are coming up from this direction this time, huh? Gosh, I gotta get some lights out here. Some outdoor lights. It's another thing on my list. Lots of outdoor lights so that we can see really clearly in here. I want the whole place to be like daylight when the zombies come. But really, that's... well, it's just not the first thing on my to-do list. Well, if they're all coming up that direction, we may not be able to test out our welcome tunnel this Blood Moon. I don't really control where the zombies spawn. It seems like they spawn from different directions depending, I don't know, on what? Random? Not really sure. Oh, hey, no spitting. But I'm glad for that. I want them to spawn from different areas. I want them to test different parts of my base. If they were always coming from the same direction, well, that would be boring. Oh man, guys, this is not necessary. Oh, that cop wasn't dead. The faker? I really like this electric fence here. Not only is it really super easy to repair, but it's so effective at stopping these zombies from attacking the bars. I mean, these bars are steel, and so they're going to have a hard time getting through it anyway, but if they can't even attack it, well, they're not getting through it anytime soon, that's for sure. At least not as long as I have power and electrical parts. Forged iron. Wow, you were tough, dude. So I want to get as many zombies throughout the night as possible so I can maximize the experience that I get, especially since I, just chugged 2 learning elixirs. It's pretty important for me to use those up. So I want the flow of zombies to be as continuous as possible. And that's why I want to make sure that the zombies' pathways are smooth, clear, and easy to get over. The zombies are inevitable, guys. Every 7 days you're going to have zombies, and, well, zombies are unlimited. Functionally infinite, let's put it that way. And since they are functionally infinite, you've got to find ways to control them rather than trying to stop them. If you try and stop the zombies, well, you're going to have your walls torn down, and that's going to be annoying for repair and for the time and for the cost as well. So it's better to make them flow to a certain part. Like here. Then the only place of the base that gets really damaged is, well, my traps, because of course, they're running into blade traps occasionally and electrical traps along the walls. But for the most part, the base stays pristine. And that is good. Because in previous base builds that I would make, especially when I used to make a perimeter wall, it would take so much cement, so much time and effort. I'd find a spot, a hole in the wall of the base that I'd have to run all the way back, get my concrete, run back to the perimeter, and then repair it, and then run back to base and put my cement back in my chest, and it was just not efficient. So that's when I started saying, hey, why don't we find a way to make the zombies go where I want them to go, rather than stopping them. Hey, where are your friends? I only see 2 of you. Hurry up. Don't make me come down there. Oh, that person got pushed up right into the electric fence. Dang, that guy's tough. That's a demolisher. Not what I'm shooting, obviously. That's a cop. But I can hear the demolisher. Where are you, demolisher? Ah, there you are. Hey, no passing through the bars. That is our main rule here. No breaking the laws of physics. Except for, of course, the fact that you are... Oh, no! Yeah, we got him. Except for the fact that they're dead and acting as though they're alive. I'm okay with that law of physics being broken. But anything beyond that, you guys have to treat physical spaces as impassable, please. I wonder why they crouch down there sometimes. I wonder if they're like having some kind of problem. They're like, I know I can't get him from there, but where can I get him? I think I'll just squat here and think about it. Dang, that guy was tough. That is a long reload. There. Alright, I'm gonna poke my nose down there. And to do that, I need 4 bites. Oh, I didn't bring 4 bites. That's what I forgot. Let's get him. 4 bites. 4 bites. 4 bites. There we go. Come on down, big guy. Wow, I dodged that cop spit. Inadvertently, of course. I didn't even know it was coming. I love that their hat flies off. That is pretty funny. Yeah, right, guys. That person's blue. I don't want to deal with a blue guy. That's scary. Come up here, blue guy. That's what I need. Hey, look at that. I'm about to level up again. That's good to see. Alright, that blue guy's dead. I'm willing to come back down here. Ah! That's another blue guy. Dang, those guys are tough. I'm out of here. Come on through here, guys. Whoa! Over here, friends. There's our level up. 167, 4 skill points. That is so cool. Oh, check it out. My floor got destroyed. That's too bad. Guess I didn't repair it. Whoa, big guy. Wrecked. Hey, you found one of my traps, huh? Yeah. Oh, we've got one of these guys. Wow, you guys can be blue, huh? Didn't know that. Guess it makes sense. Uh-oh, that's not good. Bad time to run out of ammo. Oh, they can't pass through bars. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. You guys might be bugs, but you're too big to pass through these bars. You know, I don't think I've had any of these plague bearers on Blood Moon before. Looks like I have them spawning from over here now. I wonder if they're getting hit by my darts in the welcome tunnel. Hey, spit at me again. No? Okay. I just wanted to see if it was going to pass through the railings. Oh, that sucks. What am I doing? Fell off the ladder. I do hear my traps hitting them. I know that my blade trap is obviously hitting them over there, but I think I've got some dart traps. That sounds like dart traps to me. gonna go check the welcome tunnel. Nope. They must be getting hit by another door. Hey, one of those dart traps are empty. I can hear it. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Hey, whoa. You're very orange, my friend. Oh, you've got a friend. I'm out of here. Not gonna deal with two orange guys. You guys can deal with me. And my electric fence. Hey. Off the bars, buddy. You too, lady. Guys have started to attack my windows, huh? Where are they getting caught? They're like all over the place right now. You guys know how to get to me. Ammunition, I need a little bit more. Wow, they are coming from everywhere. Over here, guys, I need you in my good spot. With the electric fence here. It makes it so much easier for me. Wow. Someone's getting hit by a lot of traps. Oh, I see their problem. They don't have that floor piece anymore, so they don't know they can come up this ladder. Apparently, that bottom slot is more important than I thought it was. No wonder my my trap isn't working. Buddy, where are you going? I'm right here. Are you still getting shot? Oh no, it's someone in there. Okay. Whew. There's no point in standing here because they don't come to this spot anymore. So. I'm really glad they destroyed that block. That taught me a lot about this position. Because now they don't know where to go. Now they're attacking the walls and that kind of stuff, and I don't want that to happen. Not only does it cause for more work and, you know, my need to repair them, but they also move around. I mean, when they're right up here hugging my electrical fence, their head is just like right next to my barrel. It's hard to miss. But, you know, when they're moving around and jostling and attacking walls, well, then it's going to be a lot easier to miss. Hey, guys. Who's getting electrocuted? You're out of range of the dart trap, huh? I love the way they turn around like that. That looks so cool. Yes, refresh my stamina. Yeah, right, guys. I'm not gonna let you get back up. You're too tough. Hey, was that the whole blood moon? Cool. Nice. So I don't think they use this welcome tunnel at all. That's okay. They'll use it on another day. They may not have used it in the last two blood moons, But I mean, they're the ones who dug the tunnel. I just made it nice. So they're definitely going to use that pathway again. I'll just have to wait to see if my adjustment made any difference. All right, let's repair definitely that floor piece that fell out. Yeah, it's so... Hey, party's over, guy. Go home. Yeah, this is such a deep hole that they didn't know what to do. I definitely don't want to get trapped in here, though. So what's under here? Nothing? Okay. I can see why they didn't want to go in here, though. I mean, it's basically a steel coffin. They seemed to go down here if that block existed. So maybe I'll make that one steel as well. We'll like have a double block of steel here. We'll see if that makes any difference. I just love Blood Moon because I can test my base and my defenses and see how they work. And now that I can repair in just like a short few in-game hours, I'm pretty happy about that too. Because like I'm saying, when I used to do repairs around the base, sometimes it would take me like up to 3 days to do all the repairs. And that's just crazy. They attacked all these bars, unfortunately. All right. So much loot. Guess I should take some of it to trade direct. Raider gloves. Aren't I wearing those? No. I mean, I am, but mine are level 4. Hey, buddy, are you still on? Yeah, but you need some ammunition. I'm going to keep my cement on me, I think. Cool. All right, let's get back to it. That was a pretty cool blood moon. I liked that they were coming up my other... Oh, I need more ammunition. I liked that they were coming up the other side of my ramp this time. They've never come from that direction before. Yeah, that seems right. I could even make a pathway here. Bring up the dirt around. The dirt is at a maximum right here, though. So it looks like this road is actually going to be pretty level with the dirt, and maybe that's okay. And now I need to figure out how am I going to do this. I guess I could have it ramp back down, or I could build the mountain up and have it kind of continue on in a straight line here. This is supposed to be a balcony. I'm just using these as, you know, ramparts to kind of repair and place the mountain. But this is supposed to be above, so I don't need the road to come by. But I think I do want the road to come by here. I don't want the road to collide too much with this point of interest here. So there was a developer created point of interest. You can see the satchel that used to be there. And I tore it down so that I could have the room to build here, but I don't want to build too far into it. So let's try to avoid it. And we'll just try bringing the ramp down here naturally with the mountain. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We're going to need wedges, we're going to need tips, and cubes. And why don't I put, just for the sake of my memory, I'm going to put those there. There. This is kind of a tough spot to build. But I have been in worse places. Why don't we just see where this ramp hits if we just take it down? I'm going to hope that it doesn't interact with that point of interest at all. Because the game code still thinks it's there. You can tell when we fly too far away, the house will still load in, and it isn't until we get a little bit closer that the house will then disappear. And that's okay. I mean, it'll stop it from competing with my base, because, you know, before it was building right there, it kind of looked like it was part of my base, now that my base is getting so large. So it was nice to remove it, but I definitely don't want to build in it in case it like respawns or something. It could end up destroying parts of my base, and that would be annoying to have to rebuild, especially if I'm happy with it already. So let's avoid that and build it just once. I guess I'm going to want to turn. This doesn't have to come all the way down to the ground because I'm going to need to turn this way. That'll give it a little bit of stability. Just while we're measuring, I want to put down the least amount of blocks that we can. Because I might have to pick them all up, you know? If it's not perfect, it's going to have to be moved. So let's minimize the amount of moving we need to do. Yeah, I'm definitely going to turn this thing before we get to there. Maybe I want to hire parkour. I do have the points for it. Yeah, okay. Oh, I thought I had the points for it. Oh, I do. Cool. Now we jump a little higher. Yep, 1 meter higher than before. So that's about 1 block, right? So that makes a big difference. Out of the way, tree. Wow. You were insistent on living. Oh, wrong spot. Okay, we're almost at the point where I turn. Guess it depends on where I want this road, huh? If I bring it all the way down to the ground, my road would end up being here. Which means I would need a pretty big steep ramp to come up here. I definitely want my road to pass by here. I am going to actually put the dirt here. So if my road is equal, as it is in the other place, the road is actually going to be a little higher than this. But I'm still going to take out the dirt. Even if I end up replacing it, it's going to help me figure out what I need and where I need it. It's just such a large space that I'm trying to construct. I want to make sure it all fits before I start, you know, upgrading and committing and bringing it to the point that it's going to be tough to go back. But dirt, a little bit of dirt, I can replace the dirt. Yeah, it's a little too low. I'm not going to want the road here. I'm going to want it at least a block or two higher than this. Because it's got to be level with that garage, the electrical room. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now. So say I want my road to come across. Why is that gonna collapse? Okay, and it's not. It's just telling me it is for some reason. Okay. So my road is gonna have to be here. Okay. Let's bring it a little further out. That's reasonable. How much space is that? About 8. It's okay. That'll give me enough room if I want to put some dirt. Yeah, this looks reasonable. But there is kind of an incline going on here. So it's going to be a tough spot to build. I could make this diagonal. Like cut diagonally through here. With the road, diagonal spaces are kind of tough, but they're not impossible. I mean, I've got a pretty good diagonal space over here. Hey, what are you guys doing here? You don't belong here. Guys, those are trees. They're our friend. They give us oxygen. Guess you guys don't really need that anymore, do you? But all this tree anger. Foliage fury. Careful, dude. You're gonna hurt me. I know, lady. It's a long way up. I gotta get a ski lift, right? Yeah, see, I've got a pretty good diagonal space here, which I'm probably going to destroy because I'm really glad I didn't upgrade those ramps. Because I'm probably going to want the road to connect here. Because this seems like a natural spot for it to connect. I can come back up the mountain here and kind of connect here. Let's remove some of these blocks. Where's my auger? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, I don't know if that's faster. I did really like this diagonal space. I thought it looked really cool. I'm a little sad to lose it, but to lose it in the attempt to create an awesome road circuit, I'm okay with that. Hey, don't sneak up on me. Sorry you're dead. It's like a real mood killer. Just don't come back to life, okay? That usually doesn't need to be said, but in the zombie apocalypse, it's, you know, very important. Okay, so let's assume for a moment, wow, they are really making a dig in here. It's okay, they won't once I, you know, continue my welcome tunnel, but I wonder why they don't use these ladders that I've got here temporarily. Like, why don't they want the easy way? So this, the problem is this is a space of 9. I guess I could still connect it. Might even be better if I connect it with a ramp. Let's see, so this is going to be the space of the road, because this road is only going to come to here, which means I'm going to have this weird space. Maybe if I can center it, we can avoid the weird space. Because I don't want to make it as wide as these other ramps. These ones are a space of 9. Well, this one's a space of 7. So they're a little bit smaller. And I kind of want to keep the small ramps going on. So if this is a space there, nope. Could do that. Yeah, that looks right. I'd probably just extend this like that and have a little wall there. I hope. Straight. This is the middle. No, this is the middle. Yep. So I have to dig into the mountain there. And I'll have to turn here. So the problem is this room isn't finished, which means I've got to be careful if I'm going to do a diagonal space because I don't want to cut off this room. What is this room? Nothing. It is the beginnings of maybe a bedroom. And it comes to here. So I could have an exit there, but I couldn't have a room there. I can't make a second floor because this is going to have to be filled in with dirt. If I extend this room, how far would I extend it? I put that dirt there. I don't want to dig it out until I'm sure I don't need it. So we'll have to have the roof go like this. All right, that's annoying. That's not right either. Let's see how that would fit with the dirt, because I don't think that's going to work. Hey, you know what? I bet my forges are done. Almost. That one is. We'll fill that guy up. He can burn on his lonesome for a little while. I'm going to change that. This is looking right, as long as it matches up here. Okay, this logically is a bedroom. My only hesitation is that I was thinking about putting my bedroom on the second floor. That's why I've got this bag here. Oh, speaking of bags, let's get that one. Wow, Magnum quality 5, that's cool. Okay, that'll do. Wow, I jumped so much further with parkour. I have to get used to that. Okay, well, actually my road seems like it can go around this mountain, and that's going to give me plenty of room here. Let's see what my continued straight line is going to do. We'll just keep making straight lines until we need to make a diagonal or a ramp. Just make it nice and easy. Well, I guess this is the middle. I really should be digging out from here if I want those to connect properly. So let me do that. Assuming it's here. We need more gasoline. Hang on, I have this one seamless. Can I make that one seamless? If that was the case, I'd actually be digging from here. because then that would give us something like that. Maybe I should make this pathway 9 so that it matches with this one, and then make this one 7 and let them kind of like collide there. So many options. So that's if I want a 9. We'll keep it a 9 for now, because that'll be easy. How deep am I in this mountain? And when am I going to come up? Out here, probably. It's only one row. I'm going to dig all the way through and see where I come out. So if I did a straight road here, more zombie dig space. If I did a straight road, that road would have to be, or I guess could potentially be of a space of 9, and it would come out here. So assuming that it comes out there, I could roll around the mountain like this, which would bring me right here. And that would be pretty close. I could kind of make a courtyard here. So we've got a, I could connect them with a courtyard. That's not a bad idea. Let's level out this floor, even though I may need to end up digging it out anyway. So this place is just kind of a mess because I left it in the middle of construction. So apparently I don't need these blocks. I could just cover them with dirt, which would be fine. Maybe that's what I'll do, because it looks like I'll remove them. They're in my way. And it won't take long. Nah, those ones I'll just bury. So the dirt's going to have to come up to here. Let's do this as representative. All right, let's keep filling. I was hoping that I wasn't going to fill in this spot until, well, until I was ready. But I need this road to be exact, in which case it's just going to be easier for me if I add the floor in and then remove it if necessary. Help me figure out if I need a courtyard or if we'll just have like a grassy front lawn type situation. Let's bring it to here for now. I'll straighten this out a little. Okay. Oh, I removed those blocks, so I don't remember where I wanted the road. I guess I could have it turn here and then meet with that block around this mountain. Might be kind of neat to have this, this raised area, the spire of the mountain in the right spot. Let's keep connecting my blocks. All right, this looks good to me. It's a little lower than I expected it to go. Where are your friends? You look like a wandering horde to me. No? Just two guys hanging out, huh? Well, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, let's have it here. So it's going to actually have to be pretty high. Oh. You're in my way, trees. Okay. Is that right? I don't know. What do you think, lady? Could be. Let's actually measure this, because that's going to be annoying to pick those blocks up if I'm right. I said I wanted 8. So that's where I had it before. Dang, wrecked. And maybe I'll bring the mountain out a little here. So if I'm measuring to here, yep, that looks right. There. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So we need to get to at least this point, which means we're actually pretty close. Maybe one more level? I think maybe even further. Yep. Unless I bring it up 1 square, which is doable. Because I did seriously consider bringing it up 1 square anyway. So maybe if it works that way, maybe I should just do it that way. Because otherwise... Oh no, that does fit perfectly. Wow. Okay. Well... It's actually got to be like this. Here, let's give it some support. So, because that's the wall, and that'll be the ramp. And the wall will go here, which means the ramp is going to continue there. And then this will be the first driving space. This will be the wall. Yep, that looks like it matches. I feel like that's not too bad. And I don't really share a space with this point of interest. I almost do. All right. I'm willing to commit to this to at least wooden frames. So I have to pick it up. Yes, it will be annoying, but it won't be the end of the world. This is kind of a tough ramp to build. No! Needed more support. This will help me to remember that there is a wall. Okay. So right there. Okay. And so we basically have a space of 3 between this ramp and this one. I could let it turn naturally, like right here. And that would bring this closer. Bring it on this line instead. No, I want more space. I don't know if I need this much space, but I do want more space than that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I had. I think 5, because then it matches up here. Let's see what it looks like when we drive, because that's what really matters. So I'll have to go around like that. That might be okay. So that gives me a space of 4, 5, 6, 7. I have a little bit of space there, so that's okay. I gotta see how big this space is. It's a space of 11, but this space is going to be bigger than the other one because I'm only making the other one 7. So maybe I can make the other one 9. So what if I did this? No? Okay. That would be the space of the road if I have it there. And that would be the space of the road if I don't. Which is going to make this space a little larger. Okay, so I want to move the road over 1. Which means I guess it would be there. And there. So that'll represent the road to me. Space of 7 is fine. Man, this is a tough spot. Oh, hey, these things appear on my map. That's cool. The trouble is I don't really know where I want them to connect. Let's just do it this way for now. A very large space. This whole thing is very complicated, very complex. I love it, but it is a challenge. Okay, so it looks like I am going to have to ramp up here if I want to be even here, which I think I do. I'm going to bring the dirt here. So let's assume that if this is the side of my wall, then I want it to land let's do there. Is that how I have the other ones? I think not. I think it's like this. Yeah, it is. Okay. Which means if I want this here, I'm gonna have to start the ramp like this. There. I don't know, I'm just kind of guessing I'll have it line up to this wall because I did over there. It doesn't have to remain here. Oh, I've got an entrance right here. So I'm gonna make sure that I have a road going straight here. I don't want a ramp. Which means really I need this to extend. Like that at least. Let's do there. And we'll put the half block there. And theoretically, dang, that was, I'm stuck. There we go. It's an unfortunate fall. So if I do it this way, the ramp would have to be something like this. Except not. Oh no, that's the wall. Yep. And so that's the ramp. Which means I come to here. Yeah, that looks good. Let's make it a small ramp for now. That way I don't have to pick as many blocks up if I don't want to keep it. And then we'll expand it and to make it into a normal sized road after we decide we like it. Okay, so theoretically, I'll be coming down this ramp. I'll want to turn here. Yeah, that looks all right, especially if I end up turning here, so it kind of like forces you to look that direction when we make the turn. I might be able to get away with a diagonal space because that room isn't going to get much bigger than it already is. Because I can't have it go beyond this. I suppose I could make this an indoor door, but I don't want to. I want that to come to the outside. In which case I need at least this space to be clear. So the minimum I could have the other room is right here if I want to keep this dirt. If I don't want to keep the dirt, I could put it here. But I probably want to keep the dirt. So the minimum I think is probably here, that this room could go anywhere. It could expand this way, and it probably will. But I've already kind of got a temporary wall there, and I need to connect it there, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry too much about that space. I'm just kind of measuring this out in case I want to go into a diagonal space here. And I think I'm liking this. So let's extend it. This is a tough road to build. I could also just continue the road there, but I doubt that I'm going to be driving in that area because there's really no need for me to park in here unless I build an access ramp that would tunnel underneath the base and come out on this side, but I don't think that's necessary because that's essentially what I'm doing out here. So let's assume I'm not going to build a road that enters that garage, and we'll just use that garage for walking into it. It's still going to be a lot of blocks to pick up if I decide that I don't like this, but it's worth trying because I have to visualize it. I have to see something here. Otherwise, I won't know if it's going to work or not. So that is the middle, this empty block here. That doesn't seem like it's too close to the base. If I wanted a diagonal space, what if I dug through here? Actually, I don't know if that's the right spot. Let's put that block back. This one is a straight line. So I'm going to have to ramp up here or down. I think. Maybe they're level already. Let's find out. It'll be easier if I block this in as a corner rather than diagonal. And if I want to do diagonal, I can put it in later. Yeah, they're not the same height. Might be kind of nice to come out into a tunnel here. So if I were to make a tunnel here and then open the tunnel so that it shows this entire space and then goes into another tunnel here, that would kind of be cool. And it's going to be not impossible, but a challenge to make a diagonal tunnel. So I could just make it a great old square. Let's start with just blocking it out as a great old square. Oh man, this is so high. Okay, so they're actually not that big of a difference. What if I were to just build a ramp here? Is this the wall? I think it is. But I better check before I start putting everything else down. Yes, so this is the wall. And if I do this, I'm going to have to make it a square of 9 or position it a little differently. That's not where we want to be. So these are... Is this the ramp or the wall? This is the ramp. So the wall actually connects here. So I shouldn't be connecting those. I should be connecting these. I guess we could just try it here. We'll just start here and then see where it takes us. No! Almost broke my leg. Maybe not with my new parkour. This is so tough. Maybe I'll build a temporary platform. Much better. I bet my food and water is going crazy with all this jumping. Okay, this is the wall. So it would end like this. And then I'd have a space of 1 here. And this one would be the next wall. That's actually kind of cool. I like that it comes out. Kind of brings you into this open air for a while. I might like that even better than the idea of a diagonal, because I was thinking of doing a diagonal here so that essentially we're always within view of the base. But we are pretty much within the view of the base here. That one's too steep. And here, so I think it's okay to kind of like exit the base for a little while. That might be kind of neat. Emphasizes how big the road is. All right, you talked me into it. We'll go in this direction until further notice. Time to test it before I get much further. I like that double ramp, it looks good. I like that this ramp comes down. I think it's okay that we have that little bit of space. I like that it comes up here, brings me next to here. Oh no! Oh no! I'm glad I got that other parkour. I thought I had expanded this road a little bit more. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so if I ended up making this a space of 9, it would have to be like that. That is a wide road. But it's wide here. So that would essentially extend this. You know, I think that's okay. I just feel good about that. It'll take me a while, but I'll bring up the mountain around this road too. That way the zombies don't attack the foundations. Wow. I'm like too high on the tree to chop this tree down? Oh no, okay. I thought like maybe the hitbox only applied if it was like closer to the roots or something. I don't know why that tree wasn't coming down. Wow, that extra jump is actually pretty nice. At least it is for building. We'll see if I have any issues with it when I quest. Because, you know, sometimes when I get max level parkour, I end up hitting the ceiling a lot. You know? I don't want to give myself a concussion. TBI. That's the way it is here. I'm just going to dig, take out the mountain. So I've got the ramp there. Alternatively, I could put the ramp over here. So what that would do is when we'd come up on this point, we'd have just come up this ramp. We're going to go up that ramp, or we can go up this ramp. But maybe I like the visual difference of it being like down, straight, up. You'd think building a road around your whole base would be, well, really simple. And I guess the idea is simple, but the execution much less so. All right, we'll take out the mountain here, assuming that I'm gonna have the ramp exactly as it is. And if not, we can make adjustments later and fill in the mountain. There's gonna be a lot of mountain filling anyway, because I'm gonna want the mountain to come up to the edge of the ramp. So we're gonna have a lot of space to fill. A little bit more won't be a big deal. Be nice if I had a dump truck, right? All right, cool. Man, this is a lot of dirt. Good thing I have this auger. Sorry, tree. If I'm at 3 hits, yeah, I need to repair my auger. So it looks like it starts being less effective when it's at about half. That probably applies to other tools as well. And 1 extra strike to take out dirt, guys, that's a really big difference. Because that's 1 extra strike per block. So in a case like this, that's dozens and dozens of extra strikes. That's why I keep repair kits on me. Oh man, this place is gonna look cool if I end up putting a tunnel over it. This might be a good spot for a tunnel. I just haven't started on the tunnels yet because, of course, building walls and a ceiling aren't really necessary for me to drive on this ramp. So I just haven't gotten around to it, but I do plan on raising some walls and some roofs over some of these ramps, and hopefully that won't cause me any problems. Because really, I should be doing everything all at once, okay? That way I can kind of have everything measured out and make sure that I don't have any issues. But that's really something that I would do probably in creative mode. In survival mode, I need the ramps. I need the ability to move. That's more important to me than making sure everything is absolutely perfect. But that's also why I'm giving myself the space for the walls, because I expect to need them later. Why don't I just complete this ramp? That will at least give me the opportunity to look at it for a while and see if I like it. Sure have built a lot of wooden frames this episode. Maybe I'll do this from underneath. Okay, that should be right. Why don't I build this? No. All right, I'll just do a ladder. So you can put a space of 1 between the ladders and they'll still work just fine. I'll usually do that if I'm working in a space like this where I plan on picking up the ladder again. It's a good way to save materials and time because I don't have to pick up each individual ladder later. So So this is the wall. I have to keep telling myself that or I'll forget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you are going to be here. And this kind of is a perfect space for a diagonal space, because I expect not to have any ramps taking me here, because I've got a road here. I might need a ramp over here. Maybe I'll do a ramp here. Just depends on if I think I'm going to travel here and not from here or here. Hey, wouldn't it be really unfortunate if I triggered a collapse here? Yes, it would. Yep, I knew I was getting close. Oh, that's still a collapse, huh? Seems like it shouldn't be, but I don't really want to test it. I'm going to test it. There. Okay, that's pretty seamless. It changes from a road of 9 to 7. I think that's okay. It's a logical place to make that change. Wonder if I'm going to cause a collapse here. I'm placing blocks with such impunity, you wouldn't think I was worried about a collapse. But I am. Hey, where are you, lady? I hear you. This place is kind of too fragile for you to be beating on anything. So it would be great if you died. Now I can hear you're a gentleman. Well, oh no, you are a woman. Sorry, lady. There's more than one. Yeah, you. That's who I thought I was hearing. There he is. Sorry, Arlene. Had to be done. That block was so unstable, I just stepped on it, and that was enough for it to collapse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's build a support there. Like, why not? Wow, that parkour makes a big difference. Definitely wouldn't have been able to make that jump earlier in the episode. Yeah, this isn't the wall. Why does that look like it lines up improperly? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well it shouldn't, so we'll just have to find out. Okay, good. It lines up just fine. Oh man, I really hope I don't have to remove all these blocks someday. Let's put this guy here. There. Let's check it out. Maybe I want this brought a little forward so that we can come up maybe like right here. But that's not a huge part to remove. That won't be hard to do. And then we'll drive right past this and that'll be just fine. And if I don't make this a diagonal space, okay. Wow, this is so many wood frames. I am really glad that they timed the building of wood frames to be faster than it takes to place them, because wow, it would be really annoying if I had to wait for, 25 wood frames before I could start putting things down and having to stop every time I hit a certain point. This just allows me to keep going forever. All right. Guys, we have something of a road circuit. I can get right back to that spot this way. Wow, that is so cool. I'm gonna pick up these blocks. So, little rocks. I can't stand them. Let's see if they turn into something. Nope, we're good. Okay. So, fill in the mountain there, if this ends up being what I want. I really like the direction we're going. Wow, my inventory's full. Sweet. So now all of my forges are full on iron and on stone. That's fantastic. Cool. Perfect. All right, my friends, that marks the end of this episode. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. Wow, we got so much work done with this ramp. We'll see if I end up upgrading it. We'll see if, well, if we get diagonal spaces, if we get walls, if we get tunnels. We'll just have to see. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join me in future episodes so that you can see where this base is going and what it will look like when it's done. Make sure to tell your friends about Mirthless Mirror, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!